We are the fantasy wise guys. I'm Joey Puma.
Mike Meals, how we doing?
How you doing? At our favorite bar that I've turned you on to, they have a sandwich named after how you doing.
Yeah, I know. I seen that, honestly. And I see a lot of the people there are big on fantasy, huh? They all watch the show.
Oh yeah, I gotta spread the love around. I had somebody ask me the other day, they need help with their fantasy team. So I said, listen, lock in, listen in, and we'll guide you on the right way.
Yeah, man. And honestly, that's what we're here for. And that's why we got to break down some of this key news because there's clearly a lot of implications with all these different things. Now, remember, if you guys already didn't like, comment, and subscribe to our page, follow us on Instagram at Fantasy Wise Guys on YouTube. Obviously, check out our shorts. We always got to get good information there. But one of the first things, Puma, this just happened. Keenan Allen signed a 1 year deal with the Los Angeles Chargers. The reunion.
Yeah, they tried to do this with Mike Williams. Obviously, Big Mike, just jetted out of there. He wasn't, wanting to play anymore.
Yeah.
He said he's done. Bring in Keenan Allen. I mean, Mike, as this relates to fantasy, I mean, he's no more than a 10th round flyer for me. Flex play at best during bye weeks. I mean, you and I talk about all the time flyers on a Monday night or a Sunday night football, and this is the perfect one. If you're trying to throw darts at a board and you're down by some odd points and you need a play to counteract your opposite opponent, opposing opponent. What better way to take a Keenan Allen and hopefully, in a PPR league, you get 10, 12 points, if not 20 by some magical chance. But other than that, he's not a starter for me.
The thing is that with Keenan Allen coming there, you got Lad McConkey, who obviously, I'm not going to say I'm worried for Lad, but obviously there's going to be some sort of target share that Keenan Allen's he's going to get targeted a lot. And I'm not saying that he's going to take a bulk of them, but he's going to take a piece. I like it for Justin Herbert. I think this is another option for him. They already have chemistry, so this could be big. Also, he was on a different offense back then because now it's John Harbaugh's system. But I'm sure that Keenan, the rapport they could develop anyway. I mean, then even though Hampton, if Najee plays, I feel like these other pieces are good for them. But Lad, I'm a little worried about. Another notable thing, Jordan Addison, 3 game suspension. So now we know the deal. He's going to be out for 3 games. That's all set. I'm sure it'll affect his value a little bit, but I'm expecting a lot from that offense. And I think that he's somebody you could probably get cheap now.
Yeah, I mean, I made the comparison between him and Rashi Rice, and I'm Jordan Addison all day. 3 games compared to Rashi Rice might get 5 or 6. That might be too much, and Rice is coming off the injury. For Jordan Addison, it's someone you could get late. His ADP is low now.
Yeah.
Right now he's getting drafted in the top of the ninth round, maybe the end of the eighth. Someone you could stash on your bench. And again, bye week filler, flex play. But I think Jordan Addison is a really sneaky player.
Totally.
Going back to
Late-round
those
pick.
preseason games before the JJ McCarthy injury, they did have some rapport. So I could definitely see once he gets back because he is already healthy. It's just because of the DUI charge, he's being suspended. I think they'll be rocking and rolling.
And for those of you who don't know, if you do have a suspended player on your bench, you can't put him in the IR. He's just going to take up a roster space, but it could benefit you. So that's where you can have it, like as Puma said, a stash. Somebody you keep to the side that you're expecting. It's a risky play. You're wasting a draft pick on it. But I've seen it pay off. Who was that? 2 years ago, Alvin Kamara, 2023. He was a league winner for a lot of people. Suspended for 3 games, came back. He was drafted much later than he normally would have, and when he came back, he played great. And honestly, anybody that had him on their team, specifically the guy who actually played you in 2023, he had Alvin Kamara, helped bring him. Not necessarily league winner, but yeah, these times sometimes these gambles pay off. And yeah, Rashi Rice, bro, I don't know. How many games do you think he's going to be suspended? Because I feel like it's going to be longer than three. He had much
Yeah,
serious
no, I'm
charges.
gonna say my estimation is six. The NFL is taking all these charges seriously. I mean, I don't want to get into the specifics of Rice's charges, but they're definitely more, serious than Jordan Addison. Therefore, he will get the higher suspension. Going back to, I'm gonna show my age here. 2010, I had drafted Santonio Holmes in the fifth, sixth round, and I knew the first 3 games of the year he was going to be suspended. That's why the Jets were able to get him from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I sat and waited, and once he got in, it was totally worth it because him and Mark Sanchez in 2010 found rapport, and he was getting me fantasy goodness. But that's the instance I have with personally taking a player that's suspended and just stashing them. You want to make sure the length of the suspension is not long as well.
No, definitely. So yeah, consider if you want to draft him or not. Make that decision before the draft, everybody. Don't be sitting there all of a sudden you're like, oh, should I take Jordan Addison? Like, no, you should know right now. Do you want to take Jordan Addison or Rashi Rice? Look at other players around them and already make like in my head, I'm personally staying away from both guys. And I know that no matter what, if they are on the board, I'm gonna have another option that I can take. So I'm not even they're not even people I'm looking at. And I have a certain list of guys the same way. So anyway, one guy I am looking at is Kyren Williams. He just signed a 3-year, $33 million extension. This locks in their workhorse.
Yeah, no, Kyren Williams has always been an RB1 for me. Especially in a lot of zero RB strategies. I
And you
would
love
take his.
McVay.
Yeah, man. And he's a great second round, top of the second round pick. That's where he's going right now. He's going with a lot of people are taking Christian McCaffrey over him. I could probably make a case for Kyron just because we know he's healthy. We know even though Blake Corum is behind him, we know Sean McVay will go to him a la Todd Gurley 2015. He loves running the ball, especially in the red zone. Kyren Williams is his guy. First and 5. We're going Kyren Williams turbo to the right.
Yeah, and then a couple days ago, I guess he would have been like a shaky second round pick. He's someone like you don't know what's going to happen, but this is like a clear indicator of the Rams' intentions for him. Whenever you see these contract signings, you know that they're how they're calling this guy. They're looking at him like the workhorse. So he's going to get touches. He's going to get a lot of touches. So I wouldn't be concerned. Injuries last year, he played basically the whole season. So I think he's a great pick if you can
Mike, just
get him.
think last year at this time, we were talking about Blake Corum possibly replacing Kyren Williams. Now, him solidifying his future with the Los Angeles Rams. It's great. I loved Kyren Williams when he came out. He was a day 3 pick
Yeah.
way back when. And I've loved him ever since he's gotten to the league. Has given me a lot of fantasy goodness, a lot of parlay goodness, and I hope it keeps going.
So the one thing about the Rams right now, one bit of news, Matt Stafford's dealing with a back injury. So I mean, it's basically a slip disc. It's aggravated. He's probably inflamed. He's probably got like some sciatica or something. But regardless, we know how those back injuries can get.
Right.
I'm not gonna freak out now, but put it this way: if anything happened to Stafford, I think it would be absolutely devastating for that offense.
Yeah, I do hear a lot of pundits saying that, for instance, via Yahoo Sports, a lot of those pundits and rankings, they have not notched down Puka Nakua. Me personally, I would keep Puka there because let's say Matthew Stafford did miss a game or two. Well, it's not like we have a bum backup coming in. I know Jimmy G had a tough time with the Raiders, but he's with Sean McVay, and
Yeah, but
I
if you suck,
believe
you suck, dude.
I believe Jimmy Handsome Garoppolo could definitely, we have the same birthday, by the way. He can, fellow Scorpio, he can drive this Rams offense. with Sean McVay, with the run game. I mean, he did take the 49ers to an NFC championship, to a Super Bowl back in
No, the
2019.
49ers took him. He just happened to be there.
No, I mean, but yeah, but he needs that kind of offense, and Sean McVay is similar to Kyle Shanahan. So I would not move any of the Rams in my rankings if there were something to happen to Mr. Matthew Stafford.
No, yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, I guess so. But like if I was guaranteed knowing Stafford wasn't there, I'd be worried. Like Puka
Yeah, of
would
course. I
become a
mean,
second round pick instead of a first, you know?
if that did happen, honestly, the person that would get a boost is Kyren Williams, just because
Sure.
I feel like they would just
Good
lean
point.
so much on the run now because they can't stretch the field. So it's going to
Yeah.
be a la Josh Jacobs 2023, and
Remember
just pound the rock.
Devontae and Garoppolo's season together in Las
Yeah,
Vegas?
this the
They
poor
hated each other. Well, actually, Devontae hated Garoppolo because he was
well,
off.
poor Devontae Adams, man. He can't get away from fucking Jimmy G.
No, man, I remember on that show, was it Receiver or Hard Knocks? It was where he had
Receiver.
it was Receiver, right? Yeah, he had the issue with him. He's slamming his helmet on the side because he couldn't get a pass. He couldn't catch a target from him. He wasn't even putting the ball near him. But regardless, listen, let's not freak out. Stafford coming back, hopefully he comes healthy because that offense is going to be beautiful, boy. Another player dealing with injury right now, Chris Godwin. So he's due to miss the season opener. And honestly, it's kind of I'm freaking out about this because I kind of expected this, but now I know everybody's got their eye on one special fellow, somebody I know you love because he's been all over the place. People are talking about him and his performance in camp, and it's your favorite receiver, Emeka Ekbuka. Man, talk to me. What do you think about this guy? You really is he gonna
Well,
be
like
he gonna be the tits? He gonna be the truth over there?
in the last 3 seasons or 4 seasons, I believe Ohio State University has been good, if not better, than LSU
Yeah.
producing these superstar wide receivers. I mean, you had Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, yada, yada, yada. Terry McLaurin
JSN
back
there?
when. These are great receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. just this last year.
And
Uh,
JSN, right? Wasn't he there?
yeah, JSN, like studs, dude, studs.
Stud.
But I believe Amika Abuka could be. I hope I'm saying his name wrong, or I probably botched that. Abuka
Yeah.
definitely can be a wide receiver one. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, how with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin?" There's a reason why the GM of the Tampa Bay Bucks went and selected Abuka. He had a fast way ticket to the Houston Texans to play alongside Nico Collins. And as soon as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got him, they traded out of that pick,
They
and
got out of it. Yeah.
that's how the Jackson Dart era began with the Giants. So
Yep.
Tampa Bay did the Giants a favor. So as we get back to Abuka, I believe he can be a wide receiver one. Why? Well, especially in PPR. Baker Mayfield will pepper him with targets. You already have leaders of the team. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans have come out and said he is a stud, and he is like a running back with the ball. That is high praise because if Abuka is in the open field, he is either going to run over you or slash, around you.
He's
So
got fresh
for
legs
me,
too. Coming in fresh legs, that's what
yeah,
somebody
he's
wants to
he's a
say.
young buck, and I believe that he is the future of the Tampa Bay Bucks alongside Bucky Irving and all those great cast of characters. But definitely Amika Ibuka could be, and I really don't want to put the hex on this, a league winner, Mike.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, listen, he's creeping up the draft boards, and they're on to him. I see people reaching for him all the time now in these mocks that they're doing. Fifth, sixth
Mike,
round sometimes because they know.
yeah, no, absolutely. The best ability is availability, and as cliche as that sounds, opportunity seizes all.
Yeah, you're gonna try to draft him early.
No, I didn't say that.
Listen, I take everybody at the right price or a little earlier, but So anyway, listen, Chris Godwin, obviously be on alert for him. He's another one that's a gamble. If you take him, you might get him late. You might get a little value on him, but again, is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be somebody that you want to target? Think about it now. Like, are you going to want to
Um,
target guys like Chris Godwin? Would you want to target a guy like Brandon Ayuk? Like, I don't know.
Well,
What about you?
other than the suspended guys, I feel more comfortable drafting Chris Godwin. If he starts the year on the pup, that gives me automatically 4 weeks of an IR spot. So it's basically a stash with a gaining knowledge of I could add
Yeah,
somebody off the
you
wire.
draft him, you put him in your IR, and then you
Right.
pick somebody up
Chris
the waiver
Godwin
wire.
actually gives me flexibility and for a long-term play or trade bait. Let's say someone went to Penn State. I've had this happen before, and they go to the same college. Well, they're a Chris Godwin fan, and they think they could get him cheap from you. Well, you know what? He's mine. You try to get him from me, the best deal wins. So that's how I play. I play very aggressive, and I'm trying to think 10 steps ahead of my opponent.
Yeah, and if you do make that move where you get the chance to put them in IR, make sure that when you make your pickup, that it's not still in waivers. Like, make sure that the waivers have cleared already, because it usually takes like a day or two after the draft. Make sure it's cleared and you draft them or you add as a free agent, because depending on how your waivers is, you can just get pulled to the back of the line. So I
No,
always
no,
try
no.
to make sure of it.
That's totally accurate, and we're gonna have a segment soon. Maybe we'll hit on this Friday a little bit, dealing with Fab versus waiver wire, and when do you pick up these players and how much you should bid, blind bid, all that good stuff. We'll get that content out for you too.
So right now, James Cook is still holding out. I don't think it's the biggest deal. I'm sure they'll get a deal done, but it's something to look out for. He's not on the field practicing right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, for me, I think that they will get the deal done just because I don't know if you got to see, but last night Hard Knocks premiered. And, it was a lot about Josh Allen, other players around him, first camp, yada, yada, yada. But they will get to the James Cook stuff. And I believe that could also put pressure on the Bills organization to save face and get him in camp before preseason is over so he could get on the same page with Mr. Josh Allen.
Yeah, from a fantasy perspective, we want to obviously see him end up signed sooner than later. But yeah, from the NFL, I don't know what they're doing. They're holding out. They got a future great franchise running back right there. He's going to be good for a long time. He's so young,
Oh my
so
God.
agile.
I'll always remember that week 2 game last year against the Miami Dolphins. It was the first Thursday night game, and he was balling, Mike. Like
Balling.
I had him in FanDuel for 2 touchdowns just because I knew Miami's run defense was weak. Well, he ended up coming up with three.
Three.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
man.
a stud. He could carry an offense. And let's be real, the future of the Buffalo Bills, you don't want to be taking risks with your franchise of Josh Allen running the ball all the time. So I believe James Cook is a very important part of the offense, and this deal should be done, by Labor Day weekend, the latest.
He's a third round pick right now, so he's one of those guys that you want to look at kind of I guess ahead of time, like if you're going to take a running back, if you're going to take a receiver, and even if you decide to go with a quarterback, like you're drafting him around the same time as Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. So he's a big pick. That's like a big choice. Like, do you want to go with another elite offensive player, or do you want to take a onesie like George Kittle or Trey McBride? These are all things to think about. Guys like him, where do they stand with you? So another guy, Terry McLaurin. Now this one puzzles me, but I mean, let's not even get into that. The Commanders need to pay their man, but right now he's another one that's not on the field. Am I that worried? Not really, but I guess for the value sake of, let's say, Jaden Daniels, I would be worried if he doesn't come back. But again, these guys that are off the field for a while, notoriously, they're slow starters. You know what I mean? Like, they don't come into the season as what's it called, as seasoned. They're not in shape. Sometimes they say they're working out on the side, but there's nothing like actually being at camp and running in pads. You can't get the same workouts at your house or your personal trainer's studio. So I hope to see him on the field soon.
Yeah, Scary Terry. I'm a big fan of his. And I believe that deal will get done too. I mean, a lot of they'll try to put the pressure. I mean, I know we talk about offense, but it is important for fantasy. Micah Parsons, right? Both of them this past weekend said they want to get traded. I believe that's just to put pressure on the organization to get a
Definitely.
deal done. And you know what? It shouldn't have gotten this deep, especially Terry McLaurin. He was there
Right.
when they were the Redskins. He was there with seven different quarterbacks before Jaden Daniels. You're trying to set a good culture. You're trying to set a difference. Get Terry McLaurin in, please.
Yeah, and he was like their only good player.
Dude, back in the oh my god, like only 2 years ago, like he was their only good player. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what they're thinking, the Commanders, but I know it's basically off of age. Well, you know what? Put some incentives in the contract. Be creative. That's your job.
Yeah, once he gets signed, he's automatic lock for fantasy. So whenever you can get him, especially even if you're trying to do the stack with Jaden Daniels, he's another one like James Cook. I mean, you can't really go wrong at that pick if you pick Terry McLaurin. But yeah, let's see what happens. So Puma, this was interesting. I've seen now with Travis Hunter, he's listed as a wide receiver, and he's actually listed as a defensive back. That's his as a second string. So, he might be playing more snaps on the offense. This could definitely be huge, and I'm sure this is affecting his ranking. I'm sure everybody's picking him earlier now, but some people had some things to say about it. I saw Devonte Adams, your boy. He said that he doesn't know how he's going to be able to handle it. He's going to basically do double the damage on his body every week. So we'll see, man. Are you still interested in drafting him?
Yeah, as you know, Mike, I am a baseball fan as well, and Shohei Ohtani had the same questions coming over from Japan. I think these guys are unicorns. I think that they are special human beings, and God put them on this planet to play that particular sport. I think Travis Hunter can do it, and right now for me, I feel like he could be a league winner along with Abuka because of the schedule and because of other than Brian Thomas Jr. Where else is Trevor Lawrence going with this ball? You know they don't have a great defense. You know they're going to be in shootouts a lot. I believe Liam Cohen is one of the most creative minds in the NFL. I think actually Tampa should have fired Todd Bowles and made him the head coach. That's how good I think he is. But going back to Travis Hunter, I believe he will be key. And I think the price is justified of him moving up because if he is playing offense, this man won the Heisman not so long ago. He is special for a reason. And I believe he will take the league by storm, Mike.
Yeah, well, right now he's going as like a sixth round pick, so he's
I believe that's
another guy to
justified.
target.
I mean, you can make a case for late fifth, but right now, six just to be safe because, again, you don't know if fatigue will factor playing both positions. Again, injury. I mean, you are playing both sides of the ball. It's easy to pull a hamstring and so forth. So for me, that is justified, and I think that's the right price for him.
So let me go with a quick, who would you rather? I'm going to throw it at you right now because they're pretty much around the same
Rapid
ADP.
fire.
Travis Hunter or Tetaroa McMillan? Which rookie day one, round one wide receiver do you want?
Travis
Tetaroa
Hunter.
McMillan, Travis Hunter. So I'm on the Tet McMillan side. So
Yeah,
that's
Travis Hunter,
interesting.
again, like for the reasons that I said, Tedero McMillan, it's like you're basically asking me who would I want in their season one, OBJ or Mike Evans. That's basically what I feel like the question is. I can't lose here, but rookie season one, I want OBJ. I want Travis Hunter. He is the most talented.
The uncertainty at the position is what kind of concerns me, not knowing exactly what his role is going to be. Like I know Tyrone McMillan is going to be lining up right alongside, Bryce Young. He's ready for catch passes. Travis Hunter, I mean, I guess we'll see more, but of course, yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. He's got boom potential for sure.
yeah. I mean,
But
Travis
so does
Hunter.
Tet. So does T-Mac.
No, no, no. I'm not doubting you. I think Travis Hunter will be a la Justin Jefferson rookie year 2020. That's how good I think he will be. Uh, going back to Tedero McMillan, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's second best. And, he's just as talented. But in Carolina, whether you want to believe it or not, there's more mouths to feed. You have the running backs, the multiple running backs. You have Xavier Legette. You have old man Adam Thielen. And Jacksonville, I could think of Brian Thomas and ETN, maybe.
I mean, you got a couple more guys than that. Come on.
Bretton
But yeah, you're
Strange.
right. The Jaguars have basically wiped out their whole depth
But
chart prior to the
and
season.
and
So,
Mike, let me even make it for you to be more comfortable with Travis Hunter. Look at what they gave up to move up for this young man.
of course,
They
yeah,
gave up their future
everything.
draft picks to move up to number 2 with the Cleveland Browns. He's
Yeah.
going to be utilized just off the capital alone. Always follow the money.
This will be a big thing to come back to. We'll check it out at the end of the year. T-Mac versus Travis Hunter. So, one last but not least, I kind of found it funny because I don't know if I truly believe it, but did you see that RJ Harvey is ranked as the fifth running back on the depth chart for the Denver Broncos? I just feel like this is Sean Payton's, that's just
Yeah,
his mentality. That's what he does as a coach. But I don't
yeah,
know.
I mean, let's be real. Sean Payton did this to Bo Nix last year, and he was like third on the depth chart or something like that.
That's
You had
right.
Zach Wilson
That's
ahead of
right.
him with Jared Stidham. We
Yeah.
all knew that it was going to be Bo Nix. This is just to send a message, which I think most coaches should
It's
do,
very old school, yeah.
is that the job is not given. Anything in life, you have to fight for it.
Gotta
And
work
even
your way
though
up.
RJ Harvey's coming in as maybe a fantasy darling or someone that could take over the Denver backfield, you still have a J.K. Dobbins back there. You still have an Andre Estime. So McLaughlin, you
Yeah.
have
They got
other
a lot.
mouths in
They
that
do.
backfield. So you're going to have to show why we took you, and you're going to have to prove it. And I think that's what makes Sean Payton such a good coach is because you have to breed competition. And once people know their jobs are on the line, Mike, they play harder. They work
Yeah,
harder. You own a
absolutely.
business. You see how it is.
Yeah, and I'll be honest though, despite, the potential hype around him to get more touches and more carries, I don't know if I'm as focused on a guy like RJ Harvey this year. I think he'll definitely get touches, but is he going to be sixth round value, seventh round value? You got to look at the board, look at who you got. I'm sure, he's going around the same time as Jalen Warren or Tyrone Tracy Jr., Cam Scatterbo. Like, there's a lot of other guys that I'd be willing to take ahead of him right now, specifically
Yeah,
for
I'll
the uncertainty in the role in Denver.
I'll give people these names to think about, and this is how I categorize them. Because I like to do comparing. And once you could compare a player to a player that used to be, I feel like people could better ADP put them in their mind. For me, J.K. Dobbins is Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware, a long time ago, had a breakout season with the Kansas City Chiefs. The following year, he went in as the starter in 2017, blew out his knee, got hurt, and then in came Kareem Hunt. RJ Harvey to me is Kareem Hunt. Now, he has to earn it. There are some similar attributes, but again, I would think of the situation like that. And if you're going to get an RJ Harvey, get him first and then sprinkle in a little bit of J.K. Dobbins. So you have the main horses of the backfield. Andre Estime and McLaughlin, we can't account for their randomness touchdowns. That's like a DFS play. But as a season long fantasy, why not take a flyer? Because if he becomes Kareem Hunt of 2017, you just got struck gold.
I mean, you'll see, yeah, guys like Javante last year was getting, 15 to 20 opportunities a game, maybe less sometimes, but yeah, I mean, if somebody gets 15 opportunities and they can produce, like you could do work with that. So, regardless, be aware of the committee backfield over there in Denver. Be aware of all the news. I mean, we're still having an episode this week. We're going to talk about a few other things, who's hot, who's not, ice, fire. You know what I mean? So we'll
Yeah, like a
check
little
that
Ben Gay,
Friday.
a little hot and cold.
We got our rankings coming out too, top 10 at each position. And we're even going to do DST and kicker. Puma convinced me. We're going to do DST and kicker.
Hey,
You guys
listen,
should see it.
kickers are people too. And the defensive players, you know what? If you're playing classic mode, which I know most of you are, they're part of your roster, are they not?
Absolutely. And it's important. It really is, which is
Every
why we're
point
going to do a
matters.
segment for that too. So, we're going to tackle every position. But, keep in mind, remember, like, comment, subscribe, follow our pages, Fantasy Wise Guys. We're your host, Mike Meals.
Joey Puma,
This was good, man. I'm really happy we got this information out the way. So,
absolutely. And you know what? In the end, things will change. It is camp, but don't believe what you hear all the time.
true.
Yeah, always look at the back of their baseball card.
Yeah. And pay attention, everybody. We'll see you
Yes, that's the
soon.
biggest thing. Master your game.